Hello peeps of the internet, it is the Casimir Effect, and I want to show you a cool little two-player die rise strategy that involves standing on top of an escalator with your best friend and spraying purple goo all over the place. But in actuality, this is a very legitimate strategy, no glitching involved, like all the kids are doing now. Glitching is like drugs. I just wanted to point that out before we started. If anybody glitches, you're on drugs, man. Drugs. But anyways, this is a really effective strategy. Zombies should not be able to touch you if you do it correctly. I am horrible at this game, and I'm not afraid to admit it, so I screw up a lot. I think we got to round 42, which is absolutely horrible. I know I've gotten farther in this strategy, but either I wasn't recording or overall the video just sucked. So this is our first really good representation of it, so I decided to show it to you. And basically all you gotta do is shoot the Sliquifier at the bottom of the escalator, and zombies try and run up it, but they can't. They slip back down to the bottom, and then whoever doesn't have the Sliquifier just sits and sprays ammunition all over the place. Similar to the job of the Sliquifierist. I want that word to go in the dictionary, Sliquifierist. Like, they added tweet into the dictionary. What is wrong with you, Oxford? Tweet. Oh my god. But anyways, you can get power-ups. It's risky, though. That's why you should use your Mustang and Sally beforehand or spray Sliquifier. The Sliquifier really shouldn't be used to make chains. You can do it, but it's not the best idea. It does work extremely well, and I know that's how a lot of people usually get far. But for this strategy, it works better if you shoot it down onto the escalator floor because it lasts longer. Even though the zombies are all gooed up, sounds extremely strange, but even when the zombies are gooed up and are exploding and getting goo all over all the rest of the zombies, it doesn't keep the bottom of the escalator sliquified, so they will start running up the stairs and owning you. That is why you should most likely create a large barrier of claymores in front of you to save you. It works out. Sometimes it doesn't, though, because you get too distracted with your claymores and everything just goes. Some more essentials to this strategy, other than the Sliquifier and claymores, are the Mustang and Sally. You can use other explosive weapons, but I personally like to use the Mustang and Sally more because they are rapid fire. And also, you don't have to hit up the box in order to get them. You just start out with your M1911. I haven't personally tried the War Machine or the RPG yet, only because I don't like using the box that much. I know everyone says the box is where it's at, but fortunately, you don't need to use the box once in this strategy. But in later rounds, it is highly suggested. I'm pretty sure I end up getting an RPG sooner or later. And then soon I will get a hammer, and it's just all over the place. We fall apart in these last few rounds, and that's why we end up failing. We waste too much Sliquifier. Like, if you see my partner right now is not using it to Sliquify the stairs, he is using it to create chains, which is good for later rounds, but right now it's just basically wasting ammo. Monkeys are a good thing to have. I'm almost positive I throw one in a couple of seconds because of max ammo spawns. You don't really need monkeys. You can always just slide down and get them after spraying the Mustang and Sally really quick. But they will come in handy a lot more than you think. They're not good for saving you. They're good for just distracting zombies so you can get power-ups. Some other things to note about using power-ups in this game is that you always want to avoid getting double points. The only reason I grab this double points right here is because I just can. Insta-kills come in handy, and it's really not difficult at all to get power-ups when running around with an insta-kill. I'm pretty sure before in this video I avoid getting the double points. Nukes, for surely, you should always get nukes. Nukes are my favorite power-up in this game. I even like them better than max ammos. I don't know why. I just like blowing shit up. But another thing about power-ups, you should never have the Sliquifierist go down and get them when they're near the escalator. It's always smart to have the person with the PD BW, Mustang and Sally, or whatever combo you have to go and get the power-ups. That way you don't lose the Sliquifier, because if the Sliquifier is lost, you are 100% going to die. I don't think there's any way to escape right now other than clearing the debris behind you, which you should really watch out from happening. That's another advantage to having claymores, is in the game, if you have a claymore laid down in front of you, it'll ask you to hold X to pick up the claymore before it'll ask you to hold X to clear the debris. So if you just watch right there, it first said hold X to clear debris, and then as soon as I lay down my claymore, it now wants me to pick up my claymore rather than clear the debris. Now, my claymore is too low now, so it doesn't work, which is really bad. But like I said before in this video, we screwed up way too much and our claymores just got wasted. Claymores don't seem like they're essential, but they are extremely. As some of you are probably wondering, how did we get into this area and the steps that we took to get there? Basically, what you do is you ride down the one-way, air quote, elevator down to the bottom and then pick up a key and use the little control panel down there to send one person back up, and then the other person can run down, turn on the power, get a couple perks, and also build the Sliquifier. And then they can head back up, grab claymores on their way there, and then meet the other person who got sent back up, who is currently building the trample steam. Now you really use the trample steam that much. I tried it, and it blows up very, very quickly, so it's not very effective in the strategy, but of course you can use it against the minions, as some people call them. I prefer to call them dude round guys. I don't know why. I just started calling them, and now I do it from now on, but... And after you get to the top of the escalator, you should be pretty good to go. You can hit the box a couple times if you want to get different weapons. If you're not comfortable with the weapons that you have at the beginning, you can always go and get more. In later rounds, you may need to head to the box to trade in your Sliquifier and then get a new one so you get full ammo, which shouldn't be a problem because you pick up a lot of points through this process, and because there's so many zombies that you end up killing. Some more little tidbits that will help you with the strategy. The key when using this Sliquifier isn't to spray at the bottom of the escalator, it's to spray at just a little bit up the escalator, because you won't be able to really see it well with all the zombies and death and goo everywhere, but there is holes in the floor at the base of the escalator that the Sliquifier goo will just fall right through, so you need to place it up on top of the escalator so that it will not fall through the ground and get wasted as quickly. Perk order is another thing that will really help you. I know that a lot of people usually get perks from dude round guys or the minion round, and that really works out well, except for the fact that you don't always get the perks that you want. There aren't really necessary perks for this strategy. There are a couple though. Who's Who and Speed Cola really help a lot, and Double Tap also will help the person who does not have the Sliquifier. Perks that you really don't need are Juggernog. I know it's really surprising that you don't need it, but as soon as you get up and get into a groove, the zombies shouldn't be hitting you at all, so you don't really need Juggernog. It'll help if you start out the game with Super Juggernog, but usually Juggernog should be one of the last perks you get. Quick Revive, you can get it. It doesn't really matter. Overall, the perks you do need are Double Tap, Speed Cola, and Who's Who. The rest are just kind of there. They'll help you a little bit, but not as much as the first three. Well, that pretty much sums up the Sliquifier strategy. And I just heard an orgasm in the background. I'm scared now. But anyways, you can try it on your own. Things in the comment section to leave. If you tried this strategy with your friends, leave how many people, because you can do it with more than just 2 people. Leave the amount of people and the round you got to, and any cool alterations that you did to the strategy. And that's about it. So this was the Casimir effect, and as always, don't do drugs, kids.